Hi and welcome back. My name is Deneen. You can call me D. I'm an astrologer and I teach people the psychology behind marketing. And today we're going to be diving into Pluto in the 10th house. Let's go. Now, Pluto in the 10th house. I know a lot of people with Pluto in the 10th house. Okay. This is not my placement, but Pluto in the 10th house is very, very powerful and it is very transformative. Okay. Now, Pluto in the 10th house, a lot of people can see the power on you, sweetheart. And they might not be seeing it, but they're thinking it. Who is that? That's the first question they ask. Who is that? Okay? Pluto in the 10th house. Okay? You are very powerful. What you're known for, your reputation, your status. Okay? You want to look very closely at Mars and what Mars is doing, the aspects Mars is making, and of course the whole chart as a whole to see how it is this energy is playing out. But of course, Mars is very important to look to because Pluto is on an angle and it's making it very prominent, very known, okay? And if Mars is also sitting with Pluto, it's making that energy very prominent, very known, okay? In the way that the person asserts themselves. Now, we're going to speak about people you can't look up. Okay, but Pluto in the 10th house, I've seen a person with Pluto in the 10th house and they have a big stellium and Capricorn here, and there was a mass amount of violence taken out against this person, weaponry, okay? Also, Pluto in the 10th house, also know a person who their reputation, Mars being in their 7th house, their reputation status of relationships completely changed, okay? Because Pluto in the 10th house, reputation, what happens publicly, okay? A very transformative experience that happened to both of these people very publicly, okay? And Pluto in the 10th house, right? Like I said, looking closely at Mars, one of them had Mars in the 7th house. So how it was that they went about their one-to-one relationships completely changed. Okay, night and day difference. Other person with the stellium and Capricorn had their Mars inside of the 2nd house, okay, in the sign of Taurus. So it was specifically the status and the strength of their body that changes, okay? Now, looking at Pluto in the 10th house, a public example of Pluto in the 10th house would of course be Princess Diana, okay? And when you look into the aspects inside of her birth chart, you can see that the criticism that the family received directly after what happened to Princess Diana during her accident, Mars, of course, in that conjunction with Pluto, okay? That accident that changed up how it was that the family or the royal family was viewed, okay? Also, we have Pluto in the 10th house dealing with a person. One second, I have my notes right here, you guys. Pluto in the 10th house also dealing with John F. Kennedy, okay? Who, of course, we all know what happened to John F. Kennedy. And this is Pluto in the 10th house, okay? Manipulation, betrayal, things publicly, okay? That people, of course, are not going to openly say, but it's going to happen because Pluto's in the 10th house, that power is seen there. Okay, transformation and how it is that you do transformation is quite public. Even if you might not think so. Other people are watching you and they think so. Okay? Now, Pluto in the 10th house. John F. Kennedy, he had his Pluto in the 10th house and he had his Mars in Taurus. Okay, morals and values. His morals and values. And how transformative those were. Okay? Princess Diana, she had her Mars in Virgo. Okay? How it is that you speak, articulate yourself, but also give service, okay? Now, Kobe Bryant is also a person with Pluto in the 10th house, but he also has Venus there, and he also has Mars there. So, Mars and Pluto seen in Princess Diana and in Kobe Bryant accident, okay? Okay? Now, this accident, of course, was public, and when you look inside of his chart, it is in the ear. Okay, airplane, okay? And Pluto in the 10th house, Kobe Bryant is a very strong, powerful, transformative figure, okay? His Mars is what a lot of people in the West would say, oh, it might be weak. No, that's not the case, okay? Now, Kobe Bryant, he has his Mars in Libra, and we know him to be an athlete, okay? So, just because we're having Mars in a sign that it might not necessarily favor and be particularly cool with does not mean that it's not going to be strong. Okay? Now, Pluto in the 10th house, these things that happen, this manipulation and just a little bit of power struggle that happens with people publicly, is not anything for you to be embarrassed about. It is also not anything for you to cower away from, and it is most certainly not anything to stop you. Okay? Because when you have Pluto in the 10th house and you have, say for example, if you had Mars in the 4th house, what happened, or something that happens and changes up about your reputation and something that happens to you publicly, can very much be transformative to your foundation, your psychological foundation. Okay? Not all the time for people who have Pluto in the 10th house. As I said, we're looking at Mars and the aspects that Mars is making in the chart as a whole. Okay? And I will continue to say that. However, Pluto in the 10th house, and if you have Mars in the 1st house, it can very much be transformative. That change of status, that power that you, of course, gain in status over time. Okay? Because you're going through these things publicly that at first, it might very much alarm you. It might very much, there is a feeling of embarrassment that does come with the things that happen with this placement. I'm not going to lie. Okay? And that's not anything for you to shy away from. It's not anything for you to stop your life for. It is very much for you to take this power that you have, that people already see on you, and for you to own it. Go ahead and wear that. Okay? Go ahead and wear that. Go ahead and say that. You're very powerful. Okay? You're very, very, very powerful. And if you are shying away from your power and you're not taking this power on for yourself, okay, you're going to give people the leeway to take that power on for you. Okay, and utilize it in the way that you're not using it in a different way. Okay, that you might not like. Okay, and you most certainly might not know initially how it is to handle, because this is something that's public. Okay, Pluto in the 10th house, why this happens or why this goes on, it really wants you to take a deeper look at yourself. And the 10th house opposite the 10th house is the 4th house, your foundations of yourself. Okay, and what it is that you have to bring forward. This doesn't have to do with career. This does not have to do with a job. This does not even have to do with work. But this is what you're known for. This is what people know you for. Okay? And this can come in many different shapes and forms. Okay? Where we have to look at Mars and, again, the aspects in the chart as a whole. But as I said, Pluto in the 10th house, you have this power. And if you are willing to take it on, if you are willing to own it, and you are willing to present it to people, okay, you are going to find that those power plays that go on, they don't go on anymore. Because you said you got it. You said you got it. You got it in your hand. You know what to do. So do it. Okay? And Pluto in the 10th house, if you have things that are going on with your 4th house, those can lead to sometimes a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to things that you first have to handle behind closed doors, that you have to handle with your emotions, family, foundations, before you can go out into the public and very much be powerful power sources. Okay, if you have any oppositions going on there or any other planets that are in the 4th house. Okay, now if you have Pluto in the 10th house, in the 10th house, I'm sorry you guys, if you have Pluto, yes, in the 10th house, if you have Pluto in the 10th house, make sure that you let me know what you thought of this down below. And if you like this video and this resonated with you, make sure that you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos about astrology and more things you would like to know about astrology, make sure you subscribe so you never miss out. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye!